reluctant. He doesn't like all this stuff. He's not the sort of guy that revels in it. You know, he's not a showman like a Glenn Boss, but he now knows, I think he really respects the part and the position he has in our great industry. The industry's been magnificent to him, but he has been magnificent back, and that is a memento that he will never, ever forget. Well done, Ollie. Everything you've done has been superb, and we'll get an opportunity, hopefully very soon, to see him go past us for the last time in the mounting yard. So in we go, and we start with the horse that he's chipped with the media. He's been reluctant at times, and as he's developed as a young guy, he appreciated a bit of a surfy type. He was a little different, wasn't he, from what we were expecting and what was the norm back when Damien Oliver burst onto the scene, and then he grew into his star status. And I think in recent years, months and days, he's really settled into being an elder statesman, a great of the turf, and we say simply thank you.
Oh, we say farewell and thank you and celebrate a remarkable career. He is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. 129 Group 1s next to his name. This is Ollie's final spin around a Victorian racetrack on board Queen of the Ball in the How Now Stakes. To call it so perfectly, here's Manuel.
And the field is set for the How Now Stakes. They are ready. They stand well. And away they go. Fortunate Kiss missed the start. She Dances broke away very well with Rose Quartz and also Queen of the Ball. Holly Lolly being used up on the inside as well to get to fourth, followed by Gennady. 2.5 Fortunate Kiss, Lady Di Di, and Unusual Culture is at the tail of the field. So onto the course proper now, 850 metres to go, and driving through, Rose Quartz is going to lead the race. Outsped She Dances, Queen of the Ball 1.5 lengths away, third outside of Holly Lolly. Then came Gennady, Lady Di Di, Fortunate Kiss is in that back group of horses, and Unusual Culture is last of all. 500 metres to go, it's Rose Quartz by a half length to She Dances, getting a little bit closer before the corner. Queen of the Ball is tracking her 1.5 lengths away, and then came Holly Lolly getting off the fence. Behind them, Lady Di Di, Fortunate Kiss and Gennady. She Dances moving up on the outside of Rose Quartz as they reach the 200 metres, and they skip away from a wall of horses headed by Gennady. It's Rose Quartz just in front of She Dances, peppering away, but Rose Quartz's game at the 100 metres. Gennady's jumping out of the ground. Rose Quartz in front though, and will win. Rose Quartz has just beaten Gennady, She Dances. Then came Unusual Culture. Behind those horses then was Queen of the Ball. Damien Oliver, we salute you.
What a day for Graham Begg and Mickey D. Terrific stuff, but it is a day that we will remember for the final time that we got to see Damien Oliver here on a Victorian racetrack. He's still got a couple left to go in Perth, but his final day here in Melbourne, and he does one final lap of the mounting yard here at Caulfield, throws the goggles away and waves goodbye to all of his mates and supporters who have been there with him along for the ride. So one still to come from Newcastle.
Today felt appropriate to say goodbye from the Victorian racetrack to a great of the turf. Damien Oliver, 129 Group 1s. There wasn't a fairy tale today. We had an opportunity to simply say thank you as a sport, and he's lapped it all up. He understands his place, a great of the turf, and today he had an opportunity to say goodbye, and Caulfield felt appropriate, Dan. It just felt the perfect place for him. He's had unbelievable success here. I loved your interview with Trish, because Trish has been the cornerstone of this career.
Oh, absolutely. I got to know Damien and Trish way back when we did the Cup, the movie of Media Puzzle, and Damien, I got to play Jason Oliver, his departed brother, and that was an honour for me. And then at the end of that interview, you know, because Trish is notoriously a little bit media shy, said, hey, anything for Jason. Yeah. I said, stop it. I'm tearing up already. I'm too much of a softie these days. But a spectacular day, and Ollie going out, well celebrated and in style.
Isn't that beautiful? So Trish and Damien for the last time on a racetrack, and I mean, it's impossible to go through all of the absolute highlights of his career. I mean, you played a part in the movie of just touched on the moment that he will always be remembered for.
That's right, Media Puzzle, absolutely.
I mean, that was incredible, because what that did is that transcended the sport. That was more about the human side of sport. That was incredible.
And the risks that every single one of these jockeys put themselves through, that Damien has, his entire family has gone through, the tragedy that struck multi-generations of his family, and yet for him to still get on a horse every day, still love this sport, still ride winners at the absolute top level, love what he does, and be a great ambassador for the sport. And I did have a chat to Mick Price before. I said, what's he done for the younger generations? And I'm like, no, he's still pretty cagey. He's still a competitor. He hasn't given away too much.
You're right. He's reluctant to be a mentor because he doesn't want anyone to beat him. That's how competitive he is.
That's the competitor he is.
And talking about that, and you've touched on it beautifully there in that moment with Media Puzzle, all the tragedy behind him, and the fact that he was able to execute his skills under unbelievable pressure. That was incredible.
Well, I wonder if you get someone like Damien Oliver, and actually that's actually the one place he's most comfortable.
Yeah.
Is on the back of a horse in a high pressure situation like a Melbourne Cup. I imagine that's where he was able to forget about the emotion of the week or so before and do what he does, you know?
Yeah. And then a moment just before the line when he probably realised, I'm going to win, and he's wearing Jason's jodhpurs there, and he just looks up. You could, imagine what he's feeling in that last 50 metres.
My boy was what he said.
Yeah.
My boy, which is what he called his brother Jason. Still gives me goosebumps thinking I don't know if I've still got cellular trauma from playing that role, but it's been a spectacular day out here, Richo, and just great to be part of it and see it and honoured the way he has been and should be.
We love the role that you've played with us, mate. We're absolutely cherishing you being involved with us.
I'm loving it, mate.
It is a unique perspective you come from, of course, playing his brother in that movie. So, Ben, I'll tell you what, it's been all about Ollie today, but we've still got one to go in Newcastle. Talking a lot about you, my friend. How do you reflect on it all? Are you glad it's over now?
I am, yes. It's been quite overwhelming at times and a bit too much. I think everyone has had enough of me by this stage, and it's time to move on.
We certainly haven't, mate. And I'll tell you what, we know how reluctant your wife is to get involved in the media, so we sent in the big guns. So she could not resist Daniel.
We had a wonderful chat, actually. Trish was wonderful and said, ultimately, get him around the last race safely, get him home, and then we're going to go back to normal, whatever that may be. But what does life look like for you guys after Perth? We know you're going to Perth, but then, and obviously there's some work stuff, but and the real life kind of stuff.
Yeah, so head off to Perth next Friday. I've got some commitments there. I'll miss next Saturday if I'm suspended, but then I'll ride the 3 Saturdays after that, and then coming back home for a little holiday with the family. And then we'll be back to Perth again, actually, for 2 weeks over Christmas for a holiday, and then I'll be taking it a little bit easy, but doing some work in the new year.
Victorian racing audience is watching this now, mate. They absolutely love you. We've got a message for them.
Oh, just thanks for all the kindness over the years, especially the last couple of months. It's been amazing. Would have liked to have ridden a few more winners. We had some in there through the middle a little bit. Would have been nice to go out in a better note today, but we couldn't manage that. Feel sorry for the punters not being able to get a free drink when I did ride a winner here today. But I'm looking forward to having a couple of quiet drinks when it's all over myself.
The captain of our commentary team is Bruce McAvaney. He just has been, well, it devastates him he's not able to be here today. On behalf of him and everyone with Channel 7, mate, thanks for everything you've done for the sport and for us promoting the sport. You've been a champ, mate.
Thanks, appreciate it, Richo. Sport's been very good to me too, so, if I can put a little bit back, it's the least I could do.
Oh, fantastic, mate. It's been absolutely outstanding. The one and only Damien Oliver. Now, we're going to do a lot of media stuff, mates. This is what right now there's going to be, previewing next week. Tell us all about it, Ollie.
Where are we going next Saturday? We're off to Kembla Grange, Cranbourne and Doomben.
Yeah.
The features of the $1 Million Gong, the Cranbourne Cup, Recognition Stakes, the Colin McAlpine Classic, Apache Cat, the Warra and the Leicester.
I'm out of a job. I'm done.
Is there anything
so easy?
Bloody good at? Well done, mate. Thank you so much. The one and only Damien Oliver. Hey, Lizzie, just brilliant to see him in action.
Absolutely, he's an absolute legend of our sport, and that was a wonderful send-off for him in Victoria. I look forward to seeing him when he races in Perth, and of course we look forward to seeing him in the media, because that was pretty slick stuff there, Richo.
It was brilliant, Lizzie. Congratulations, everything you did today. You were going to have a day off. We got you in a headlock and said, you live in Newcastle, you need to go to work. She's been absolutely brilliant.
How come Ollie gets a box? How come Ollie's had a box this whole time and I'm down in the ditch?
Oh, I feel uncomfortable. D-Mac, you've been brilliant, mate.
It's been an absolute joy. What a day down here at Caulfield, mate. It's been sunny and spectacular.
It has been superb, and it was a moment for us to say to Damien Oliver, the greatest we'll ever see, simply thank you.
James McDonald has upstaged the retiring Damien Oliver in his final ride in Melbourne, taking out the 1,000 guineas at Caulfield.
For James McDonald, another big one, and 2,000 guineas on the bounce.
Oliver didn't ride any winners but received a fitting farewell from jockeys on the track.